Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I'd like to start with the ugly truth, and that is that 50% of malls that are built in India and abroad, anywhere in the world, underperform. And when I say underperform, we're talking about occupancy less than 70%. We're talking about retaining clients with rental discounts, pure revenue share, and so on and so forth. So that's billions of dollars under the drain all over the world. And when we try to analyze why this is happening, so I have been building malls for 25 years now, so about 13 malls, 14 malls, 3,000 stores, hundreds of restaurants. And I'm clearly seeing this shift. And one of the primary reasons, if we understand how malls evolved, maybe 1,000 years back, even if you go back to the ancient Roman cities, there have been complexes where artisans create goods and they showcase in the stores, and they used to live there, and those shopping strips are still there. So the evolution happened, and malls are on the supply side. That's where malls are. You put up the brick and mortar, you put up the infrastructure, and you partner with sellers. And then you open the gates, and you hope that the customers will come and take care of the demand side. That's how. And when this exchange happens, this is a marketplace, and when that exchange happens, there's a certain percentage that is your ROI. Be that as it may, things have shifted because people are not consuming from a needs-based anymore. When people are buying, they're not buying from a needs-based. They are not fulfilling their needs. A simple example would be if you look at 2025, January to December, and if you list 3 most expensive things that you bought, I promise you it will not be an essential thing. So the Maslow's need hierarchy theory of physiological need doesn't exist in developing or developed countries. So you can do that work yourself, and most of the things that are things that we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. So this shift has happened. Unfortunately, the shopping centers haven't shifted. And so what's the solution? And what is the shift? So the consumption, when I understand this deeply, has a deep relationship with what is there on the image. I mean, that's Michelangelo's famous painting in Sistine Chapel, which is about connection. Nokia also used this in their advertisement. So consumption is here, and it's not on the needs base, and it's not on the demand side, and people are not going to come and buy just because there's a mall and there's a product that's to be sold. And this is connection. And there's a deep relationship between consumption and connection. And if I have to increase the business in a mall or in a retail center, if I have to bring in consumption, the simple thing to be done is to create deeper, more meaningful connections. The more deeper the connections, the more meaningful the connections, the consumption is going to go up. So that's the only way the malls are going to survive. So in the next slide, I want to show you the solution here is not to build shopping centers, is to build social centers. Now, what is a social center? Is it different from shopping center? How is it different from shopping center? And that is my next slide. Instead of talking about it, I want to show you the biggest social center ever made by mankind, which is happening today as we speak. This is the biggest one. Can we please? Yeah, everybody knows this. Yeah, Dubai Mall. Now, let's see if we can. This is Dubai Mall, 5 million square feet approx, including the attractions which are there. They get 100 million plus footfalls a year. 100 million in a country which has 4 million population. 100 million footfalls in a year. And Dubai Mall claims Dubai Mall to be the most visited place on earth. It's not Eiffel Tower. In fact, it is something for people to think that the most visited place on earth is a shopping mall. But actually, it's not a shopping mall, it's a social center. It's not Eiffel Tower, it's not any religious place in the world. You can Google this. There's no single religious place in the whole world which gets 100 million footfalls in a year. And that's what they claim, the most visited place on year. And while Emaar publishes the data, which is a group data, because they have 6, 7 malls, but what we have understood is that the annual sales of all the shops is more than $10 billion US. $10 billion US. And the rental revenue is somewhere around $1.5 billion US. Simply said, this is the biggest social center ever created by mankind. But what is the reason behind this? There are 10 million square feet of office space in a walking distance of 1 kilometer from Dubai Mall. 10 million people are working around. 10 million office space, sorry, not 10 million people working, 10 million feet of office space. And there are about 36 hotels all around. I just went to booking.com, choose the location, Dubai Mall, 1 kilometer radius, and I did a filter 5-star. That's the number that came in. So about 36 hotels in and around 1 kilometer radius. So what happens is, you're passing this mall for various reasons except shopping. You're landing there, you want to meet someone, you're bored, you want to get out, you want to take a walk, and that's how consumption is happening. So you cross through the iPhone store, you cross through the iPhone store, and you see that 17 Pro is launched, you have 15 Pro, you're happy, and you say, okay, I don't want it. So you keep crossing that again and again, voila, you have 17 Pro in your hand. You don't know how it happened, but it just happened. So that's what a social center is all about. So what I was trying to say now, again, yeah. So what happens is, the difference between a social center and a very good shopping mall is this, that it unlocks certain rings of value. Click, please, Amok. Click, 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 and stop. So what happens is, there are very good malls in India, standalone, very good malls. And there are some very good offices. So we at Prestige, we own about 200 million square feet of space, which is hotels, malls, and offices, and so on and so forth. So we have some very good hotels, some very good malls, but there's a certain value that gets unlocked when you put it together, when you bring it into one ecosystem. So Dubai Mall is not a mall, it's an ecosystem that is surviving around it. And then there's a certain value that is getting unlocked. So at times it could be 1.2, at times it can be 1.5, but in case of Dubai Mall, I think it has gone several times more, because you just saw the numbers that they are achieving. It has gone substantially more. Tell me what is available in Dubai Mall which is not available anywhere else in the world, including India. So this is the next consumption opportunity, and that is to build the social centers and not shopping centers, and try to see how we create that ecosystem where people find reasons much deeper, much more meaningful, and definitely not about buying, it's definitely not about shopping. Now, if I show you now the opportunity that we have. So we at Prestige Group, of course, whatever we did before COVID was a different scenario altogether, but this is what we are doing, and this is all I wanted to share. That's it. This is our vision. We are building, and the name that we have given is the Prestige Place, and this is the social center where we have shopping malls, offices, residential, luxury hotel, convention, IMAX theaters, performing arts theaters, outdoor amphitheaters, etc., under one roof. And we are not building one of them. We are building multiple of them in almost every city. So this is something I wanted to share, that if we, because given the infrastructure and given the way we operate in our country, if we create social centers, and if we try to, so we opened a center for performing arts. We have done 200 live music performances in that one center. And for the next year, we are getting more than 300 bookings. And who's who have come and performed. And just seeing the value that is getting added on to the mall, which is already doing 150 crores a month in just 900,000 square feet. So that's the value that is getting unlocked. And I think many of our friends who are into development have actually taken note of this. And I'm privy to such developments which even others are doing. And this is the next consumption cycle. And hopefully, India's mall trading density, which is one of the lowest in the world. If you go anywhere in the world, the rentals are very high. And comparatively, it's easier for brands to enter. But very soon, this will change, because the percentage that is linked to the consumption will keep changing, and it's only going to have a larger meaning. So that's the point I just wanted to make. Thank you. I had given a very limited time, so I'll end that. Thank you.